What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Wildcat Cave. With all of the coaching changes going on in college football right now, it led me to thinking, what is the best jobs in the country and what are the best jobs in the SEC for a coaching position? Today, I'm going to answer just that. I'm going to give you guys my top 5 coaching positions in the SEC. But make sure you let me know your opinion down in the comments as well. I'd like to see what you guys have to say about this because I got a feeling that my list is not going to match up with a lot of your alls. So let me know what you think down in the comments. If you're not subscribed, make sure you go ahead and do that for me, guys. It really means a lot to me, and you won't miss out on any of the action coming up. My next video will be my first basketball vlog video. I'm going to the game against Southern, and you guys won't want to miss that vlog if you liked the football vlogs. And smash that thumbs up button for me if you like these rankings here. First things first, congratulations Danny Tate on predicting 28-24 Alabama in the SEC Championship. There was another guy, I believe Horror Guy, was also really close. It was just a 1-point difference between the two. But with Danny Tate getting Georgia's score exact, that put him over the edge. Congratulations, Danny, and good job to Horror Guy as well. Make sure you all stay tuned for a future video so that you guys will have another chance at a shout out along with everybody else. Now getting into the top 5 here. Coming in at number 5, I have Texas A&M. I think there's a lot of good and bad with Texas A&M. Number 1 is you're in Texas, so you're going to have a big recruiting base. Obviously, high school football in Texas is really big, almost as big as college, so you're going to have a good base to recruit out of. Right now, you're the only school in Texas in the SEC, so those guys that want to stay close to home but still play in the SEC, you have a good chance to pull them. Also, you all have a really good fan base. Your fans are passionate, you're engaged, they support the program really well, and the school supports the program. The Texas A&M basketball is not necessarily a powerhouse, so all of the focus and all of the attention goes to the football team, which is pretty good most of the time. And so the school is willing to throw money that way as well. Now what's hurting Texas A&M is, number 1, Texas and Oklahoma coming to the SEC. Now you're going to have to recruit against other SEC schools in your pipeline states and in your home state. That could really hurt A&M's chance with Texas and Oklahoma being such big marquee programs coming into the SEC. And secondly, a con for Texas A&M is that their fans and the school may have semi-unreasonable expectations sometimes. It seems like every now and then they get upset with a 8-4, 9-3 type season. And in all reality, that's a really good season for most programs. And that can potentially, when Jimbo Fisher is not there, create a little bit of turnover at head coach. Now moving on to number 4, I have the Florida Gators. There's a lot of good and a lot of bad in this job. Right now, the good is, again, Florida is a hot spot for recruiting, so you're going to get a lot of guys coming out of high school that want to stay close to home. The school is committed to winning as well. They're willing to throw money at the program to make it work. Nothing has been really solid since Urban Meyer left. However, the school does have a winning tradition, and when you think of Florida football, you think a top-tier program. So if you're a coach looking for a position, Florida is going to be very attractive to you. You can win there, and you can win fairly easily compared to other places. Some of the cons at Florida is you almost have no job security, much like LSU. They have high turnover rates when coaches are not successful. And the fans, the staff, the university itself all have really high expectations for this program. If they're not competing with Georgia year in and year out for the East, there's a good chance within a few years that coach is going to be gone. We'll see how Billy Napier does here. I still think Florida is a really good place for a head coach to go, but there are some job security issues there. Coming in at number 3, this one might surprise you guys, maybe not if you follow the channel. I have Kentucky at number 3, and let me tell you why. The pros are now the school's committed. Mitch Barnhart has stepped up and shown that the university is committed. They are willing to spend money on the football program in places that they wasn't before, like private jets, paying extra coaches, all of that good stuff. It seems like the school is now finally committed to not just being a basketball school, and they want to be competitive in all sports. And the biggest reason I have Kentucky at number 3 is because of the expectations. If Mark Stoops averages 7, maybe 8 wins a season, there will be stuff named after him. There will be statues outside of Kroger Field. And now that Kentucky is a winning program, there's not another winning program in the SEC where that's the case. If you look at LSU, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, even Tennessee to some extent, if you're not winning 8, 9, 10, 11, maybe even 12 games at some of those schools, you're going to be out of there, and you're going to be out of there in a hurry. At Kentucky, they've shown that they will let you build a program from the ground up, and now those expectations have risen a little bit, but overall, a place where as long as you're winning and doing good things, then the fans are not going to run you out of town. And speaking of the fans, one of the biggest things Kentucky has going for it that's attractive to a coach is how dedicated the fans are as well. A coach doesn't necessarily want to go to a place like Vandy where the fans are not engaged at all. At Kentucky, you know you have the entire Big Blue Nation at your disposal, and that can be really attractive for an incoming coach. Now, some of the cons is there is no winning tradition at Kentucky. Until Mark Stoops got here, Kentucky had not historically been a good football team. So it's not going to have the marquee, the lights and the glamour like you would at Alabama or Georgia or Texas or USC or a place like that. But that is slowly starting to change with Mark Stoops at the helm. And another con for Kentucky is you're not going to have a lot of great in-state recruits. Now, Kentucky has gotten better at getting recruits out of the state. Some of the talent level in the state of Kentucky has risen quite a bit from where it was. But when you're competing against places like Georgia, Alabama, Florida, and Texas, it is the state of Kentucky just does not produce the same number of athletes as some of those other southern states. Now, Mark Stoops has done a really good job of creating a pipeline into Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Michigan, but an incoming coach may not have that same luck. Coming in at number 2 is Georgia. There's obviously a lot of pros to the Georgia job. You have a good recruiting base. Georgia puts out as many 4- and 5-star athletes every year as you could want. They are the top program in the East, so you would not be walking into a dumpster fire if you're a new head coach here. And the tradition at Georgia is to lose to Alabama. No, I'm just kidding. It kind of is, though. But either way, they are the premier program in the SEC East, and overall just being in the SEC East kind of helps. You're not having to face Auburn and Alabama and Ole Miss every year. The second best team in the East is either Kentucky or Florida, and you are a pretty good ways ahead of both of those programs. So you're going to be able to win even as a new coach, and you have a good shot to win the SEC East even as a new coach. Some of the cons for Georgia are that they are always going to be compared to Alabama. When you take the job as a Georgia coach, your expectation is to beat Alabama in the SEC championship. Kirby Smart somehow still has a job. I know he has won a lot, but with this loss to Alabama in the SEC championship this year, if I'm a Georgia fan, I don't know how you look at Kirby Smart and still give him contract extensions. I'm not saying he's not a good coach, because he is, and it would almost be blasphemy to fire the guy, but he has just not been able to get it done when it counts. Alabama has now won 7 straight SEC championships, and Georgia has been the better team at least 4 of those seasons now. And another con for Georgia is the high expectations, of course, that tie back into being compared to Alabama. They're letting Kirby Smart ride it out, but once Kirby leaves, I don't know that another coach gets that same respect. And then finally, coming in at number 1 is no secret Alabama, the best job in the SEC and probably the country. Alabama has a good recruiting base, of course. You can recruit out of Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, the Carolinas, and Florida. Basically the hub of high school football. And of course, the biggest perk of the head coaching job at Alabama would be your Alabama. Who does not want that offer coming from the best program in the country for the past 10 to 15 years? And finally, one of the reasons this is the best head coaching job is because you don't have to worry about it. You know Nick Saban isn't going anywhere. He's not getting fired, and by all metrics, it seems like he wants to coach until he is dragged off the field in a casket. So this is not something Alabama fans are going to have to worry about for a while. So I'm going to consider that a pro as well. Now the cons to the Alabama head coaching job is you would have to follow Nick Saban. How do you live up to potentially the greatest coach of all time? That would be a tall task for any person to step into, but one that I think most would take gladly. And then job security. This is something we don't know about with Alabama. This might not even be a con, but once Nick Saban leaves, how long is the leash on the next guy? Because I got a feeling that if Alabama takes a step backwards, they're going to start going through head coaches as well, trying to regain their prominence. That is going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you all for watching so much. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave your comment down below of how you think the rankings are. Who is your #1 head coaching position job? Make sure you smash that thumbs up button for me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Go Cats!